welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here, and I am doing another IPL 2021 team overview. And today, it's time for one of my favorite teams, RCB. Could they be the future champs this year, the first time ever? Because I'm not giving away my prediction right now. That'll be later on, right before the season starts. But let's go ahead and talk about RCB. Surprise, surprise, not at all. Virat Kohli is still the captain. Simon Kadich is the coach. And we are ready to go into the 2021 season. Let's see what their team looks like. They made quite a few changes at the mini auction. Surprise a lot of people, including myself. Made me scratch my head quite a few times from some of the decisions they made. Before we get to the players, let's just talk about their history, okay? The seasons that they did not end in 5th, 7th, 6th, or 8th, for crying out loud, too many seasons. They are runners-up in 2009, 2011, 2016, which meant they did not win the title, but they got all the way to the final match. They made the playoffs last year. That's right, first time in 4 years. They made it last year, and they got kicked out in the first round, but that's okay. We'll see how they do this year. I do feel more optimistic, and they got into the playoffs last year, so that should bode well. But I feel like this season's going to be more competitive with these teams. But let's talk about right away RCB, the players on RCB. Start off with the Batsmen, and right there, the captain, 32 years old, $2.5 million, almost 17 crore. Virat Kohli is their captain and their mainstay batsman. And then you have the serious superstar, future star, whatever you want to call him, Devdutt Padikkal. This guy was amazing last year. If you have him in your fantasy squad whenever RCB played, you were very, very thankful because he got so many half centuries. But he's coming in for 2021. Looks like he still has a super cheap salary, so RCB's saving a bunch. I mean, that's why they spent so much on someone else. But Padikkal's coming back. You got Sachin, baby. And no, he's not Sachin Tendulkar's son. His name is Sachin Baby, because I'm assuming his parents are huge fans of Mr. Tendulkar. So he's making his debut along with these other 3 batsmen from India. Or no, the next 2 from India. We got Rajat Patidar. It says right arm off break, but he's not going to bowl at all. And then Suyash Prabhudesai. That's all I'm going to say. No pun intended. Suyash, first year, making the same as Padikkal. That is a crime. Give the guy some more money. Double his salary at least. 23 years old for Suyash. And then from the great land of New Zealand, we have Finn Allen. Finn Allen, young, 21 years old. Don't know too much about him. Let me know in the comment section if you know about Finn Allen. Are you excited about this? He made his debut for international New Zealand just last month in March. Wow. All right, we'll see what Finn Allen's got to say here. As far as the all-rounders, they only have 2 of them. And maybe this is why they spent so much on the second name I'm going to mention. We got Pavan Deshpande. This is an Indian 31-year-old from Karnataka. And he is on RCB this year. Click the button there, sorry. And then he was RCB last year. We also have Glenn Maxwell. Woo, the money man from Australia. Glenn Maxwell. This guy has so much money. It's not even funny. Especially now. Because he got himself 14.25 crore. Almost as much as Virat, for crying out loud. And 32 years old. But they got him because he can spin that ball, right? He can bat, he can bowl. He's going to be in the bowling side. He's going to get at least a few overs for you. He might even open some of these matches. Who knows? Depending on what grounds they're in. But Glenn Maxwell. I was not excited about that pickup. I was kind of cringing when I heard how much they paid for him. And I don't understand it. I have not seen it besides a few matches international. So we'll see how he does. As far as the wicketkeepers go, let's keep moving along. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the alien A.B. de Villiers from South Africa, 37 years old, and he still's playing like he's 27 for crying out loud. This guy is in his prime. No one's going to convince me he's not. He's also the vice captain. And at least here on Wikipedia, not too many times they mention vice captain. It's just always just the captain. But you know Virat Kohli does not want to play in any season for RCB without his man AB de Villiers. They are the best between the stumps when they're running, in my opinion. It's going to be great to see that. This has Josh Philippe here, but I am almost certain that he is not going to be playing, that he pulled out of the IPL this year, either injury or from personal choices. So he will not be playing. We have Mohamed Azharuddin, 27 years old, and this is his first year with the Royal Challengers of Bangalore. And look at that. AB de Villiers has only been with him since 2018. I wonder if he left and then came back, because I thought he was with Virat for a lot longer than that. Virat Kohli. Oh, that's when he signed. My bad. That's when he signed his most recent contract. All right. And then we also have KS Bharat. KS Bharat, also 27 years old. He is the 4th wicketkeeper. So this is interesting. AB is going to have to play quite a bit of wicketkeeping. But because Philippe's not going to be there, they have Azharuddin and KS Bharat. And I'm going to get so mad at myself if you tell me in the comment section that Josh Philippe is going to play. Like, Nick, what are you talking about? I heard it from so many different places that he wasn't playing. I wonder if he changed his mind. So we'll see. We'll see if one of these other 2 wicket keepers that I'm not familiar with, this is their first year with the RCB squad. They've been playing for a few years. They really have. We're going to see if one of these guys can get a chance. Mohamed Azharuddin, he plays for Kerala in the domestic cricket. I don't know if he's made his international debut. So look at that. All right, off to the spin bowlers. You got to have some spin bowlers. We already mentioned Glenn Maxwell. We have their best one. We have Yuzvendra Chahal. I love Chahal. I think he's got a great attitude. I think he's got a great approach. I think that he's a great cricketer, but he's not as reliable as I want him to be. Very, very expensive. Let's see if he can limit that quite a bit. He's only 30. You know, he recently got married, I think, and so maybe he'll be able to use some of that new marriage kind of power with him as he goes along, and is hopefully not as expensive. We have Washington Sundar, who's just really propelling the national stage in the last 6 months. He's on the squad. He was on the squad last year, obviously, in the years before, but let's see if he can use some of that international experience to bring to RCB. Adam Zampa, which a lot of people are very high on, saying that he may be the best spin bowler. He may be above Maxwell and Chahal. We'll see. He's going to be a serious option for them, and still very, very cheap. Adam Zampa from Australia. And then also Shahbaz Ahmed. Now, Shahbaz Ahmed, he made his List A debut for Bengal in 2018-19. He won a bunch of trophies, for crying out loud. And he's ready to go. He was on the squad last year. I don't know if Shahbaz, yeah, I do remember Shahbaz getting in at least once or twice. I was really impressed with him. He was able to get some wickets, so we'll see if he gets more of a chance. Now the pace bowlers. Got quite a few pace bowlers. I already see some names on here that I'm not too sure about, but I recognize a lot of these names. It's going to be interesting for them to find at least 5 of these guys. They might even go with 6 bowlers. Who knows? Maybe 7 if you want to count Maxwell. Jeez Louise. All right, pace bowlers. We have Navdeep Saini, Saini, very, very familiar with him. I don't trust him completely, but I'll take him above a lot of these other guys because he definitely has some skills. And I think he made his way into international play. I mean, he's made his debut in 2019, but I think he was in the Australia series, if I'm not wrong. We got Mohamed Siraj, Lord Siraj. I mean, in my opinion, this guy went from a really good IPL player to a really good pace bowler with what he was doing in Australia and in India. This guy's got some skills. I want to see him take those wicket-taking skills to the IPL for RCB this year. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do. I love Lord Siraj. You've got to have him. You've got to have him in your starting 11 if he's healthy. Kane Richardson from Australia. Kane Richardson and Daniel Sams from Australia as well. Both pace bowlers. Daniel Sams is new this year. Kane Richardson was last year. I don't remember seeing him bowl at all. I saw him in the BBL. Not super impressed, but he was on a very bad squad, in my opinion, with the Renegades. Daniel Sams, this guy can hit it quite a bit, and that's why you have him on that squad. He's almost, in my opinion, an all-rounder because he can hit those sixes. He's getting paid pennies, for crying out loud. You got Harshal Patel. Harshal Patel, 26 years old. This is his first year with RCB at least. He is an Indian pace bowler. A lot of overseas pace bowlers. Jeez Louise. You have Kyle Jamieson from New Zealand. And this is a guy who got paid a whole lot, over $2 million. This is his first year, I think, in the IPL. First year with RCB, at least. And what did that say? That he made his international debut in February of last year. So, I mean, he's been on the scene not too long. And they were desperate for more pace, I guess. But they picked up Kyle Jamieson. And we'll see what he can do. I have not been too impressed internationally. He had one really good match in the 4 or 5 I've seen him in, or pieces of it. But they're going to rock with him. And they paid him so much, he better be in that starting 11. And then Dan Christian. I like Dan Christian a lot. He is from Australia. I really like him. I think he's the same Dan Christian that was on the championship Sixers. He's almost the same age as I am, so that's awesome. He's still rocking at a high level. So you have the typical... They have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got 9 overseas players. Wow, that's a lot. I don't think you're going to see Finn Allen in there. I don't think... I mean, you're going to see... Let's talk about the 4 that you're going to see more than likely unless they're injured. Glenn Maxwell, absolutely. A.B. de Villiers, not a chance. Oh, Philippi, because he's out, so there is 8. My bad. Philippi. Got to have Zampa in there. And now you got to make a tough choice with these 4... overseas pace bowlers. Who are you going to go with? Richardson? I don't think so. Sams? Maybe because of the bat. Jamieson? I think you're going to start with that one. So I think those are going to be your starting 4 overseas players. And then I think you can take out Jamieson and put in someone else like Sams or Richardson or Christian as the season goes on if Jamison's not able to do too much. But can you imagine if Jamieson has a rough couple of first starts and they take him out and then someone like Sams or Richardson really does good and they paid Jamieson all that money to not really play because there's not enough room overseas? We'll have to see what happens. I like their roster. I wish they had, and they do have Glenn Maxwell, so I guess that's 5, so that's not too bad. Out of the bowlers, I think you got to go with 6 bowlers. I really do. Isn't that crazy because Glenn Maxwell will make the 7th one? Oh, I think you got to go with 6, right? You got to have Shahal in there. You got to have Zampa in there. You got to have Sundar in there. There's 3. Those are all spin bowlers. And then Salaj, I guess maybe not Saini every single time, but he's one of the staples there. And then Jamieson, so that's 5. So Saini would make 6. I like Shabazz Ahmed for a few starts here and there. So that's 6. So what 5 batsmen you're going to go with? You're going to go with Kohli, Paddy Cole, A.B. de Villiers. Absolutely. Glenn Maxwell. Absolutely gives us room for one more. So someone else, one of these younger Indian players or maybe not as much experience on the team Indian players will get a chance. Sachin Baby, maybe? That rhymed. I don't know. Who do you think will be the 5th batsman? Do you think RCB is going to go with 6 natural batsmen, including the all-rounder? So 5, then the all-rounder, Glenn Maxwell, and then 5 bowlers, pure bowlers. Let me know what you think. I do like the chances of RCB. I don't want to give any of my predictions away for the season, but I do like their chances. I do like this squad. I think from what I've learned from their past and what happened last year, I think this year may be the most balanced, if I can say that, especially with Saini and especially Salaj's impact on the international squad. Maybe Jamieson can be the X factor for them. I think they have a really good chance to keep up with the big boys, with your DCs and your Mumbais and the other squads that might be at the top there. I think that, you know, between SRH and RCB, they're battling for that 4th spot. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're very comparable in different ways, but as far as talent goes, and Virat Kohli, he's been really on fire through the entire tour in India. We'll see if he can carry that on in a few days in the IPL. I'm excited for this season. I'm a huge RCB fan, even though they gave me so much heartbreak last year. I'm ready for more. I have more room in my heart. It's healed. Let's not break it, but if you have to, let's just make sure we have some RBC playing. I know you're an RCB fan. If you are, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you appreciate my effort here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so yet. We're going to be talking a lot about the IPL this season. It comes in just a week or so. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, go RCB!